Having a strict program has literally nothing to do with control over anybody. You literally have no control over what anybody does in their life at any given point. The only person that you have control over is yourself. Having a strict program comes down to the boundaries that you set for yourself in your life and what you are and what you are not going to allow. That is it. Someone acting goofy and weird, you're gonna leave. If someone disrespecting you, you're gonna leave. If you told somebody one time that you don't like something and they continue to do it or they do it again, you're gonna leave. That's what having a strict program is. It's standing firm on your beliefs and the treatment that you want in your life. And I think a part of that is understanding or having a deep knowing that regardless whether that person is in your life or not, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be just fine without them. Literally. Never accept treatment from someone thinking it's because it's the last stop for you. It is not the destination. It could literally be a pit stop on the journey that you learn from and you keep on moving.
And you got to be mean to these men. You got to be strict. Don't give him what he wants. Tell him no. Men hate to hear no. It only make them work even harder. They love a challenge. If it's too easy, he gonna take advantage of it. He's not gonna appreciate it. Be mean and make him work.
Hey, my K babes. Welcome back to another Chats with K, home of the real and raw chats. Ladies, we must run a strict program, set boundaries, and say no when it comes to things that are not serving you. See, you have to understand when you don't have a strict program, don't have boundaries, can't say no, people will continue to push your limits. They will continue to disrespect you, use you, treat you like a doormat because they realize that you allow it. You allow people to treat you the way you treat yourself. And when you start creating those healthy boundaries, you will notice that a lot of people will leave. Like the people who were taking advantage, who was benefiting from you not having boundaries, they will start to exit left. But that is a good thing because you don't need these people in your lives anyhow. So let's continue to watch the video. And if these videos are helping you, if my channel is helping you, make sure to support the channel. You can send a donation, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
What God was showing me is that when you are something of such high status, when you are more precious than jewels, when you are the daughter of a king, people will like the fact that you have that status, but they won't like the work or the strict program that comes with it. They like having access to it. They like seeing it. They like being able to touch it, but they don't like the work of it. And that's why we need to have a strict program. How God showed me this is the seasonings in my kitchen. I redid them over and I put them in a cute little Amazon containers and I staggered them so nicely and I cleaned each one. I made sure there was no salt and pepper in my cabinet. You know, so many people was telling me that they like how my cabinet looked with my seasonings all organized, but then somebody came in and used the seasoning and they put one of them back out of place. Put it back exactly how you got it. Now, when you opened the cabinet, everything was neat. It was staggered. You can see the name of each one. They were all turned in the same direction. And you loved how that looked. And you took one out and used it and thought that you could just put it back anywhere. No. Because the same way you love how it looked, you have to love how to take care of how it looks. You have to love how to move according to the strict program so that it can continue to look that way. So that it can continue to be on that status. And when it comes to a woman of God, in order for you to be more precious than jewels, you must have a strict program where people understand, yes, I am more precious than jewels, which means you must be careful when you handle me because this precious jewel has a strict program that comes with it.
This may come as a surprise, but you actually don't have to be nice to men. It's really not a requirement of theirs. I've never been nice to a man a day in my life, and all my men love me. I'm working on learning how to love them back, but that's a different conversation. My point is, you don't have to be nice to them. But don't get that confused with being mean because don't nobody want all that fussing, fighting, cussing, nagging, bitching, moaning on stuff all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. I just mean they like to fear you a little bit. You know, they like to be like, yeah, no, not my girl. She ain't going for none of that. They want you to run a strict program. You ask a man that's been married for about 60, 70 years how they did it, that man is a little bit scared of her. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Because when you're too nice, they look at that as pushover. You give him an inch, he's going to try to take a mile. You let him have that little mile. You can keep that. Next thing you know, that man done took 10. Before you know it, you look up your nigga somewhere overseas. Like, not around here, pot.
If you're really strict, why do you have a roster? Like, y'all be bragging about having multiple men in rotation like that's power, when it's really a distraction. Like, how you say you're healed, you're disciplined, you're focused, but you're still entertaining people who don't even meet your standards. There's no way half these men should have access to you. You're praying for a husband, but giving boyfriend benefits to people who haven't even earned conversation. That's not discipline, that's delaying, honey. You cannot ask God to send you the right one while you keep entertaining the wrong ones. Being strict means you protect your energy, you protect your time and your name. You're not for everybody, and once you really understand your value, you stop moving like you need attention to feel wanted. I don't care how fine he is or what he got. Peace is better than a roster. Because when you know who you are, you stop competing for validation and start requiring respect. So yeah, if you're really strict, you run a strict program, why do you have a roster? Let them wonder why they can't reach you. That's the part of discipline that makes you untouchable and exclusive.
And to everybody who say they run a strict program, make sure you stand on business with that when it comes to anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care how much you love them, because I will never give anybody else the satisfaction of being able to cross my boundary. A boundary that I put in place and said I was going to stand firm on is like, oh, I love him. I'm going to let him, like he ain't going to, girl, because he gone every time. He's going. Hello. That's for romantic relationships, family, platonic relationships, everybody. Stand on it, because I feel like some people's sole purpose in life is to push boundaries. Some people's sole purpose in life is to cross your boundaries that you set in place. Like, oh, girl, she ain't talking about nothing. What the niggas be saying, what they be saying, she going. So they be thinking it's like a game, women and men, not just the men, but the women too. Like, you put a boundary in place, and then once you let them cross that boundary, then it's like, okay, let me see what else I can get away with, so no, we not doing that. Once you become strict, make sure that program is tight and right at all times with everybody. Okay. Yeah.
The only type of people that are gonna get upset when you start setting boundaries for yourself are literally people that aren't able to benefit from you. They're not able to get away with the shit that they used to get away with you. Okay. When you're setting a boundary, it is to protect yourself and also to let other people know where you're kind of drawing the line, because you know what you deserve and you know what you don't deserve, right? And people that get mad at you for setting those boundaries are only upset that they cannot take advantage of you anymore. They're upset that you no longer are going to people please and bend for them and let them get away with whatever they were getting away with. You're not able to do that anymore for them. So if anyone is in your life and you're trying to better yourself, you're healing, you're growing, and you're setting firm boundaries, whether it's family, friends, partners, if anyone is upset about your boundaries, those are the people those are just the people that are not able to gain anything from you, because now you know what your worth is, and you know that people have been taking your kindness for weakness. So if you have people in your life, you have to set these boundaries. The right ones, the right people that love you, that are not using you, that are not trying to get over on you or manipulate you, they are going to be very proud of you. They're going to be proud of your growth. They're going to be proud that you are standing firm and want better for yourself, and they're going to uplift you, and they're going to respect the boundaries that you are now setting. Anyone that gets offended or gets defensive about you setting these new boundaries, you might want to kind of look at that situation and reevaluate who you really want in your life, and who needs to go. Because anyone that's upset with you wanting better for yourself, they probably need to go.
The minute a man goes ghost, I'm no longer interested. That's a real talk. If you pursue me and you don't follow through with the pursuit, then you miss your opportunity to get to know me. At that point, you might as well stop inboxing, you might as well stop calling, you might as well stop texting, because I'm telling you right now, you're going to be ignored. See, I don't have time to be playing with grown men. You got to find you a little girl to play with, baby, because over here is a very strict program. I don't play no games. The minute you pursue me and you hit me up trying to get to know me, and then you go ghost for days at a time, and then you want to hit me up again to see if you got a chance, no, you don't. You might as well go ahead and stay where you was at. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it for you, because 9 times out of 10, I don't even keep those type of people around me. I don't play those type of games. You don't get to have access to me and watch me and then think you're going to have a chance to hit me up again or talk to me. Absolutely not. Find you somebody else to play with. But it ain't going to be me. I promise you.
Children make mistakes and adults make choices. I'm going to say that again. Children make mistakes and adults make choices. Yes, there are going to be instances where an adult makes a genuine mistake, and that is easy to identify. That's not something that's going to be ambiguous. But when you really put it into perspective, then you stop giving people so much grace and you step away from people pleasing. And I say this with peace and love because I am a recovered people pleaser. I used to give people all of the excuses in the world. Oh, it was just a mistake. Oh, they didn't mean to. Oh, that's not what they intended. But at the end of the day, the result is still the same. So they are choosing to hurt you. They're choosing to, waste your time, choosing to not communicate effectively, choosing to not be considerate of you. And if you wouldn't do that to them, you should not accept that in return. When you're kind of thinking through whether or not you should give someone another opportunity in a friendship, a relationship with your family, whatever it is, as long as it's outside of like a work environment, and even that, but I know that that could be a little bit more delicate. Just always consider whether or not that person is making a genuine mistake where they are not aware of the consequences of their actions and not aware of how that's going to affect you or other people, or whether or not they just don't care.
How life feels when you finally set boundaries with people. It feels peaceful. Like you can finally breathe again. You stop feeling guilty for saying no. You stop explaining yourself to people who never cared to understand you anyway, right? It's like you wake up one day and realize your peace matters more than keeping everybody happy. You stop answering calls that drain your energy. You stop going places that don't feel right. You stop chasing people to see your worth. And the crazy part, you start getting that time and energy back. You start laughing more. You sleep better. You feel lighter. Because boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. You decide who gets access and you decide when. So yeah, life gets quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that feels safe. The kind where your heart finally says, this is what I needed all along.
The quickest way to lose yourself and become completely unrecognizable to yourself is saying yes when you really want to say no. And I know that it's difficult for some of us to say no, but would you rather be uncomfortable for just a short amount of time after you say no, or be uncomfortable for years and sometimes decades because you continuously say yes when you really want to say no? You continue to say yes when God is telling you to say no. You continue to say yes when you don't have the capacity. You will look in the mirror one day and be completely unrecognizable to yourself. You will completely lose yourself because you have given every ounce of yourself to everybody else, even when you didn't even have it. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And when God tells you to rest, you cannot keep on, I gotta give. There's a season for everything. Yes, there's a season to serve. Yes, there's a season to give. There's also a season to receive and to rest. You have to learn to say no. You have to learn your limits, especially as a giver, especially as a recovering people pleaser. I know. I know. All I ever wanted to do was please and give and give and give. And I was so angry. I was so bitter. I was so burnt out. I was so hurt. I was completely damaged. I couldn't even recognize who I was looking at in the mirror. If the answer is no, say no.
As someone who couldn't say no, let me tell you, not knowing how to say no cost me. It cost me my peace, my energy. It drained me. I was serving everybody else around me, pouring from an empty cup. Putting yourself last is not a flex.
And that's just what it is. And that is not healthy for someone to build a long-term friendship or relationship with you. So let's normalize respecting people's boundaries. Like if somebody says they don't like something, it's not up to you to decide if that's worthy of not liking. Just don't do it. Period. If you want them to be in your life, just honor them. It's a level of respect. It's a level of care you're giving for that person, and it makes the space safe, and safe spaces typically tend to grow. It helps relationships grow. So that's just my perspective. Like boundaries are people trying to keep you in their life. Don't get it twisted.
A question to always ask yourself when you have trouble setting boundaries and you're a recovering people pleaser is this: If I'm considering you and you're considering you, who's considering me? Because to be loved is to be considered, right? Right. I feel like it's just such a valid question. My thoughts of the day.
The older that I get, the more I understand how important it is to have boundaries, because people will play in your face until the day you die if you let them. And the worst part about it is that after you hit like that 25-year mark, you can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself. You have to take full accountability. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand when shit is my motherfucking fault. Like, you mean to tell me I have to take so much accountability to the point where I might have to dig deep into my childhood trauma and figure out what it is that my mom and dad did or said to me when I was younger that makes me allow people to treat me like shit and walk all over me in my adult life? Who the fuck has time for that?
The clearest sign to know if somebody is supposed to be in this season with you is if you set a boundary, see how they react. People who feel some type of way about your boundaries go as far as to talk about you, disrespect you, even start painting you out to be a villain. They do not deserve to be around you in this season because they do not respect your boundaries. Somebody who loves and care about you, you will tell them what makes you feel uncomfortable or what you don't want to do because you're telling them because you love them. That's why we set boundaries with people that we love, because if I didn't love you, you would just be gone. But if they respect it and just be like, you know what? I understand that made you uncomfortable. Like, I can get with it. That's them telling you, I want to stay in your life. Your boundaries should not make you fall out with people. It should not start an argument. If it does, that is a clear sign of God telling you that person is not supposed to be with you in this season. Even over explaining, when you have to over explain and your boundaries turn into this like long conversation about why you set the boundary, it's time for them to go. Just pay attention. Pay attention to how people feel when you set boundaries.
So recently I realized that I have a huge heart, meaning I will go on my way to help others. I will go without so that others can have. Just normal things. That's how I was raised, you know, and I would say I wouldn't change it for the world, but now I'm changing it, right? Because I'm starting to see how people take advantage of those type of people, how people try their hand and push the buttons when they realize that there's someone who's willing to give and has resources, and they will drain the hell out of you, okay? So those very same people who I would go without to help them, if they had extras, they wouldn't give me their extras, meaning they could have some and I could have some and they still wouldn't give me some. Meanwhile, I'm willing to go without to help you. And that's where it becomes a problem. And those type of people like me, they will get milked and drained until you learn to say no. Okay?
Learning how to say no and choosing yourself is a full mindset shift. It's not just a boundary. Something I've been struggling with is trying to say no to people, knowing that I have to put myself first, but sometimes it's hard and a lot of people don't like to admit it. So I did a little research on different ways to actually kind of conquer that and change my mindset, not just try to set that boundary. So the first step, they say, is you have to understand why it's a struggle to say no. Before you can change anything, you always have to know the why you do something before you do it. So there was a question that you had to ask yourself. The first question said, do I fear people won't like me if I say no? Do I feel guilty putting myself first? Do I equate being needed with being loved? In my opinion, I feel like I'm more on the second one. I do feel guilty putting myself first. Like, it's being a little selfish. And I feel like being selfish, sometimes it feels guilty and wrong. But in reality, we do need those moments. But when you get honest about that root of to why you're doing,
I want you to start setting those boundaries. The sooner you set those boundaries, the quicker you'll be able to realize who belongs in your life and who doesn't. The people who are benefiting off of your lack of boundaries, they are going to be pissed the moment you decide to set some. This recently happened to me. I had a friend and we would hang out all the time. Every time they call me, I'm down to hang out, down to party, X, Y, and Z. But recently I began setting boundaries. No, I'm busy. No, I have to work. No, I'm focused right now. Now all of a sudden this person has an attitude. They're saying little things here and there, little smart remarks. But when I say yes, 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 everything is good, everything is all lovey-dovey. And now this person is no longer in my life because at my big age, if you cannot respect someone's no, you simply do not respect them. You will grow to realize that some people are only in your life due to your lack of boundaries, due to your people pleasing. In the minute that you withdraw your energy, the minute that you start saying no, it will reveal to you if they are for you or not.
Some people only want to harvest your energy. Some people are only using you for your status. Some people are only using you for what you can give them. The minute you pull back, it will reveal how they truly feel about you. So start setting those boundaries so you can start weaving out who belongs in your life and who doesn't.
One thing I wish I knew before regarding friendships, you're gonna have selfish moments and it's okay to set boundaries with your friends. If people cross your boundaries, it's okay to let them go. You don't have to hold on to a relationship with a friend just because you call them a friend. You don't have to feel like a bad friend for setting boundaries either. I've set boundaries with friends that protect my mental health. I have told friends plenty of times, I am not the friend that you're going to call and is going to sit on the phone with you all day. I just can't do that. It's not personal. I also have social anxiety, so I don't want to interact all the time. I don't want to go out all the time. I don't want to kiki all the time. I don't want to gossip. I'm a very low maintenance friend. And I think a lot of people will see low maintenance friends as being selfish. And that's a boundary I set. And regarding friendships, if that boundary is crossed, then I'm gonna go, because it puts me in a weird space of having to pretend, and I don't like to pretend. Do not feel bad when you set boundaries with your friends. If your friends cannot respect your boundaries, then they cannot respect your space, and they should not be in it, okay?
I don't know what it is when a major event takes place in your life, whether it's pregnancy, your wedding, even death. It takes place in your life and people start to show you how they truly feel about you. My father passed away a few weeks ago, and during this tragic time of my life, I see how people truly feel about me. And I've come to the conclusion that I am done not even being considered the bare minimum. I am done with being a doormat. I am done with people not caring about my feelings. I am done with people playing me for a fool. I am done with people thinking it's okay to treat me anyhow. My father doesn't even treat me this way. I'm talking about God. So how dare I take it from man? I am done. Like, I am truly done. It's just something that I had to recognize and be exposed to during this tragic time of my life, and moving forward, know how to move forward with people. The proximity and the access that people once had with me is no longer there. Your access is denied. I'm not going to apologize. I'm also not going to feel bad for the way that I move forward, because people really know what they be doing. I've cried about it. I've took it to God, and the decision I made to just create boundaries and fall back, I feel good about it. Nobody deserves to feel this way, and nobody deserves to go through this with their friends or people that are around them.
As a recovering people pleaser, it's okay to set that boundary. And it's okay to cut them people off. It's 100% fine, babe. Because people know what they've done. And everybody does not deserve access to you. Everybody does not deserve access to you. Boo. Okay? You're not required to give your energy to anybody. No person in this world. All of that is up to you. You don't owe them an explanation. Heavy on, you do not owe anybody an explanation. 9 times out of 10, if you're a people pleaser, or if you're an empath, or if you're someone who struggles with setting boundaries, the person in question, they know it. And they play off of it, babe. They play off of it. I promise you, once you actually stand on business and only keep the people that actually are good for you in your life, your quality of life will go up by 1,000%. I promise you. I'm still dealing with this to this day. This may be a message for myself, because I can see clearly right now. You feel me? Regardless, stand on business. Do what the fuck you gotta do for you, baby. We see each other. Okay.
Some of y'all got to learn how to stop being a yes man or a yes woman. And I'm not talking about in a way that you think that I'm talking about when you hear this term, but I'm talking about how when somebody asks you to do something or go somewhere or spend some money, something involving you spending some money that you know you probably don't got or that you should not be spending, your ass can't say no. You need to learn how to say no. In your early 20s, one thing that I have realized is you're going to have to learn how to put your foot down and say no. It's okay. You're not going to make every event, baby. You're not going to make every brunch. You're not going to make every dinner. It's fine. It's totally fine. We're getting our lives together. Like, come on, be realistic. It's okay. Say no to some things and see how, your life starts to change around. A lot of y'all are stressing about shit because you don't know how to say no, and you in the mix and caught up in a web of everything. Well, you don't have to be that way.
You got to learn how to tell people no. No, I'm not doing it. No, I don't want to. No, I can't give you no money. Start telling people no. That's how you know somebody really love you or value y'all friendship or relationship. Tell them no. A lot of y'all in a relationship because you based off yesing them. All you are to them is a yes. You yes, 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 yes. No. Start telling people no. If you really want to know where you stand in a friendship or a relationship, start telling people no and start setting boundaries. Because the minute you start saying no and setting boundaries, you're not an opportunity to them anymore. See, a lot of people just use you till they can't use you no more. But see, when you come out the gate putting your boundaries and telling people no, I'm not a yes woman. I'm going to tell you no, and I'm going to tell you when you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be in a space where I constantly tell you yes. No.
All y'all who talk about like healing and running a strict program and having boundaries and being intentional, come to the front. Come to the front. Nobody told me that when I became serious and intentional about dating that my phone would be so dry. Okay? I don't think my phone has ever been this dry. Like, my phone is drier than Camel Gucci. Like, this is crazy. But I'm honestly not mad at it, okay? Because I feel like this is just God weeding out who's for me and who's not for me. And during this time, I have discovered, first of all, I am hilarious, okay? I have been cracking myself up, okay? Second of all, I've got back into things that I love to do. I've been reading. I've been watching my serial killer documentaries. Like, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, dang, like, having boundaries mean I gotta, like, be a little lonely.
Let's normalize saying no with no explanation. The next time someone asks you if you want to do something that you don't feel like doing or don't have mental capacity for, just simply say no. Don't add no but, nothing. No, nothing. Just simply no. Because quite frankly, you don't owe anyone an explanation. If you say no, no means no. That's it. End of the story.
Yes, absolutely. Learn to say no, set those boundaries, and run a strict program. It will truly benefit you in the long run. And that happened to me recently where I was invited to go somewhere and I really didn't want to go. Like, I wanted to go, but then again, my body was saying, no, I can't go. Like, I was tired, I was drained, I needed to get some rest. So I told that person, no, I can't go. But at first I was hesitant. I wanted to say yes and just ignore how I felt. But I decided to listen to my body and set those boundaries. And I said no, and I stood firm on that. So bottom line, I'm glad I stood firm on that boundary I set and said no, because I was able to get some much needed rest, relaxation, and I'm glad I did. So once again, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Send a donation. And until next time, my K babes.